Yo, 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 what's going on, my peoples? Peace to all the gods and the goddesses, the kings and the queens that's going to be coming into this chat. Welcome, welcome to whoever decides to pull up. Please hit that like button on your way in. Please subscribe to the channel. This is for anybody that's coming in now, and for the people that will be seeing this later. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button on your way in. And when you subscribe to the channel, please hit that notification bell and make sure it's on all. That will be very appreciated, greatly appreciated. I appreciate anybody who pulls up. But this is a discussion that I really, really wanted to have. Hopefully, my people pull up. I really want to have, I'm very curious to see how my people feel about this. So, the title of this is How Are We Feeling About Juneteenth? I'm gonna tell you the history of Juneteenth. Then I'm gonna tell you about some discussions that I had. I literally had discussions about Juneteenth, but it wasn't because of this day. Well, it wasn't because of today. It was because of something else, and I will get to that later. But for right now, let me first say Happy Juneteenth to everyone who appreciates the holiday, to everyone who is happy and enthusiastic about the holiday, so people that just simply want to stay home, that just, look at it as another holiday. So yeah, this is my question. How are we feeling about Juneteenth? This could be just some people looking at it like, okay, well, I don't really give a damn. I got an excuse to take off. I got an excuse to be off and get paid for the holiday, or if I go in and decide to work, I get paid double time as a holiday, or, some people are looking at it as a celebration. It's long overdue. Some people look at it, and it's a very divided take on this. Like, when I have this discussion, it's not just clear, cut, and dry. It's not just like, oh, these people say, yes, we support it, let's go Juneteenth. It is these people over here say that, is these people over there say this, and then it's people in the middle that's not sure on how, either way, or how they feel. Like, and I have asked all the ancestors on the other side too, and it's very divided. We cannot come to a consensus because it's complicated. But if you know about our, let's just say, civil rights leaders or people that was fighting for civil rights, if you truly know who they are, the fabric of them as a man or woman, then you could kind of predict how they will feel about it. But, okay, so let me just first inform you of the history of Juneteenth. So June, for the people that don't know about Juneteenth, Juneteenth is a holiday that now it's been made a holiday. I think it was 2021 when it was made a holiday. Hold on, let me check. Let me check with the ancestors. Was it in 2021 when it was made a holiday? Yeah. Okay. So it was made a holiday, I think, in 2021. At the latest, it would have been 2022, but I think it was 2021. It is known because, okay, so for the people that don't know, slavery was ended. The Civil War was won, and by the North, and slavery was ended in 1863. Okay, I should have had all this stuff looked up so I could actually read it out and all that, to be more specific. But in actuality, slavery was ended in 1863. Okay, so but when you look at when did slavery end, it will tell you June 19th, 1865. And the reason for that is states around the South, like Texas, in particular Galveston, Texas, It's another part of Texas. It very well could be Fort Worth. I cannot remember. Was Fort Worth one of the places? Yes, it was. Ooh, so they telling me Fort Worth was one of them. But like I said, it's many various places in Texas, along with a few other states, but who really remain nameless because they just put the only I on Texas. But but Texas is a very big state, and so it was a lot of little places in Texas that had act like the war wasn't won and just decided to keep on keeping slaves enslaved, and they're not the wiser because they are secluded and away from people anyway, because that's how abusers thrive, by keeping people removed from reality, and so they don't even know they're free. So uh armies were sent around because it kept getting back to um the army that so it kept getting back to the army that these people were still being enslaved. So soldiers were sent to places like Galveston, Texas, among other places in Texas, and probably other states, but they just don't name them. But anyway, they were sent and they held these people at gunpoint to make them release these slaves, because that's the bullshit that the people were on. The former slaveholders were on. Okay. And so they were acting like if they got to fight tooth and nail, they not giving up. But the war was won 2 years before this, prior to this. So this is the reason for Juneteenth. So the like I said, the military went around saying, you are free. They pull up on places that people were still keeping slaves and say, you are free, and they hold like they will have their guns out because this is what needed to take place, because this is the bullshit that the slaveholders was on. So they literally would have their stuff out like, you are free. This and like some of them were saying, well, what day is this? And they was like June 19th, because they were slaves and they wasn't well versed in things like that, because they thrived on keeping slaves kind of for lack of a better term, ignorant to what is really going on in the real world, like the date, like what year it is, like things like that, the months of the year, like things like that. They was not trying to make sure they know that, even though a lot of slaves did know these things. But anyway, they were saying, so one of the slaves or some of the slaves was asking them, what is this day, to mark this day that they are free? Because they literally had the option to walk away from where they were now. And so they said, what is this day? They said June 19th. But because they wasn't well versed in that type of language, I guess, or so anyway, grammar about that, they was like a Juneteenth. This is why Juneteenth has become a holiday, right? So I just want to know how people feel about that. So anyway, so all right. So I'm gonna give my opinion. I really was more interested in everybody giving their opinion, but I don't feel like I'm going to get that right now. So I'm just going to give my opinion now. Everybody is welcome to their opinion. If you have an opinion of your own here, I will never turn on you or argue with you about your opinion. Even if we don't agree, I might argue my point, but it doesn't mean that your opinion is wrong. It just means I have a different position. So we just agreed to disagree because I don't know. I'm just not that type of person that's going to be like, oh, your opinion don't matter. Mine is the only right one. I'm not one of those people. So everybody's welcome to say their opinion. But anyway, my opinion is that it's a bunch of bullshit. They playing with us. Juneteenth, the holiday, was given to us in, I believe, 2021, because that would have been around the time of the Jacob Blake stuff, or around the time of, like, coming off of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, It was a lot of other people. Sterling, somebody, Alton Sterling. Um, um, it was a lot of things that was going on. I cannot think of my boy Rashad. Dang, I can't think. Rashad Brooks. That might be his name. Rashad Brooks. I might have it wrong. Forgive me if I do. But it was a lot of my people being lives being taken at the hands of law enforcement, at the hands of the people that think they authorities, and people giving them rights to just knock us off like we ain't nothing. And it was being played repeatedly on TV. So at this time, they was looking for something to settle us down. Excuse that. That's my ancestors going off about what was going on at the time that this Juneteenth was given out. Okay. So at this time, my people was being shot down in the street. I'm probably not supposed to be able to say that, but I said it once. I'm going to try to keep myself from saying it again, but this is the honest to God truth. This is what was happening. And lives being taken in any shape, form, or fashion, and it happened to be by the people that's supposed to protect and serve us. So at the time, this is what all was going on. I'm not sure if Jacob Blake had actually happened yet, but at this time, this is the type of thing that was going on in America, right? So, and shout out to everybody else that I missed. Shout out to my angels. Shout out to everybody who lost their life at the hands of authorities or who think they're authorities, who've been given a false sense of authority and think they got the authority to take our lives. We not having that. This is a different day and age, and we not having that. So everybody was some people, let's talk about it. Oh, this is the perfect time to work this into a conversation. So I really don't talk about, I go many different places, but I really don't talk about it's a guy that has been, I would say, railroaded in jail because he is like a leader of a group called the NFAC, and it stands for Not Fucking Around Crew, right? And it's a bunch of people who have a legal right to own arms, and they took to the street on July 4th. I remember this. I don't remember what year. Don't give me the line. But they took to the streets with their legally purchased weapons and decided to start protecting our people to make sure we stop getting knocked off by authorities, because this is just getting ridiculous, you know? And so I already knew when I seen them, I didn't know nothing about them. No, I knew their name was the NFAC, which is the Not Effing Around Group. So when I seen this, I already knew that they was going to stop at nothing to take down these people. But what they did is took down their leader. That's what they did. They took down their leader. Okay. His name is, damn, I'll be messing up his name. His name is Grandmaster J. Right now, he is probably serving the total of like at least a 20-year sentence. The reason why is because they put charges on him in 2 different cases, and it is fictitious charges. I know this because this man is something like, I don't know if he was a Black Panther, but he tried to adopt the ways of the Black Panthers, where he knows the law when it comes to gun laws, because he knew they was going to try to give him a problem. But I could have told you, look, I just see things for what they are, and I knew they would stop at nothing until they take these people down. When I seen them in the streets with them guns like that, I knew they was going to stop at nothing to take these people down. But what they did instead is took out the leader, right? So now this man is serving like 20 years because one cop said that he pointed a gun at him when he knows better. He knows it's perfectly legal to have a weapon on the streets and everything as long as it's not pointed at anyone. It could either be pointed down to the ground, it could be pointed up in the air, but as long as it's not pointed in the direction of anyone as a direct threat, you legally can have that out in the streets, and that's the law. And I first learned that from the Black Panthers when they used to be on their stuff. So you know what I mean. So they said that he pointed a gun at them, and long story short, he got locked up or whatever. And they had two separate things where they have two separate cops or two separate entities say that he did this, but I'm sure he knows the law, and I know he wouldn't do that. So they really just silenced him and shut down the movement because I ain't seen no more NFAC get-togethers ever since. So that's all it took is them to take out the leader for them to stop. Actually. So forgive me for getting sidetracked in what I'm saying, but this is how it all works together or whatever when it comes to this. So when they was knocking off our people at an alarming rate, I believe it was in 2021. So Biden was trying to settle down our people because our people was taken to the streets. Our people was ready to set it off. They was coming up with groups like the NFAC, armed militia. They call it armed militia groups. Call it what you will, but it's groups that feel like we need to police our own communities. We need to police our people, or we need to police the police. Point blank, period. Because that's the type of times we was in. So when all things started happening like this, and people is literally clashing with each other like this, Joe Biden came up with the idea to give Black people a holiday, Juneteenth. And I guess that's supposed to settle us down and stop us from fighting for our lives against authorities. That's what I believe. That's what I believe it's given to us for. So my position on this and my opinion on this is a bunch of bullshit. I feel like they try to pacify us or just distract us by throwing us a little pebble like a holiday, you know, and that we supposed to be so happy, which we was so happy because Black people don't have nothing. So happy that that's the end all be all about any conversations about restitution / reparations. That's the end of talks about it's just a lot of stuff that, like, you know, it's a lot of things. I feel like if you was gonna give that, why didn't you give more of a making amends type of I feel like more of a making amends type of gesture to, like, it could have been some compensation with that. Why just give us a holiday for when they had to come and police Texas to let go slaves? And this is what we need to be ecstatic and grateful about. Like, you're not telling the history of what y'all done. You're not telling the history of how y'all came here and stole this land from us. Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. So look, I already told y'all before. I think I told y'all before on this channel. I'm sure I told y'all before on this channel. That I've been having conversations with God and the ancestors and finding out information that, like, you know, most people would not think to ask. But because I have a gateway or an opportunity to ask, I'll be asking the stuff that I really want to know. And I started asking about, was there an Atlantic slave trade? Because see, the thing is, I knew that some of us was already here. I thought half of us was already here, maybe half of us was brought over or something like that. But come to find out, 100% of us that are in the Americas were already here, right? Already here. Okay? And when I say the Americas, I also mean like the Virgin Islands. I mean like all of that type of stuff too. We were already here, all of us, right? So they came over here and dominated and took, posing as hospitable people, as just friendly people. That's our problem. We always greeting people with arms wide open, not thinking of the consequences of what they came to do. And they had guns and we didn't. And that's how the institution of slavery began. That's the real big gist of what happened. They had guns, which we have never heard of, at this time, because it's that early in the game. And we didn't. They had this and we didn't. And that's how it all happened. So anyway, yeah. And that's the ancestors agreeing. So anyway, this is how it all happened. They throw us these pebbles and trying to make us feel like we're supposed to be ecstatic when we're supposed to have been fully compensated the same way that the people that call themselves the Native Americans were compensated, because we are the actual Native Americans. And we were dark as night. That's how it is written and documented when these people came here, what they saw, and they saw us, and they called us the Powhatans. So this is the first people they saw. They ain't seen no people that now call themselves the Native Americans. That's not what they saw. They saw people that they described dark as the night, or black as this, or whatever, but not a derogatory term, just describing the description of the people that was here. And that was our people, not the people that you see now on the TV that say that they are the Native Americans. No, we are the Native Americans. So anyway, so they came here, robbed our country from us, pretending to be friends, only to hold us hostage here. And some of us fought, some of us didn't, some of us won, and some of us didn't. Some towns, they didn't dare come and contact with our towns. Let me make sure this don't come on here. So some towns, they didn't dare come in contact with some places in the US. There was a lot of places where we were free. Okay? The Powhatans were free. And because we kept fighting and we wasn't going to let them, we didn't care that they had a weapon that we didn't have. We had our own weapons and we was willing to fight and give our life and die about it. We was willing to die about it. And they got chased out of there, and they just let it be. Instead of trying to keep fighting with us, they just did not want to go through that type of war, and they wasn't ready for them type of problems, and they let it be. So anyway, forgive me for getting kind of sidetracked, but I'm just running into more history that people really don't know, and I just want to make it clear. So they decided to give us this holiday, and we're supposed to be pacified with this holiday. I feel like they bullshitting us. I feel like they playing in our face. I feel like they playing with us, and they effing with us, and we're supposed to be happy, and we don't have no other compensation for what the hell they did. The evil institution of slavery. And we don't have nothing to show or nothing as a form of compensation, reparation, or restitution for what they have done. And I got a problem with that. And I'm not cool with that. And I'm not okay with that. And so, but the good thing about this, the only thing that I do accept about this Juneteenth holiday that was thrown as a little pebble to us, as little scraps to us, I do like it because it can prove and is documented. So when they go to try to erase slavery from the history books, because that's what they're trying to do, okay? So when they go to try to do that, it's a documented holiday that already tells you about this. This is a documented proof of the horrors and atrocities to what was done to our people, and this will help us in our fight for reparations. You understand? So that's what I do kind of accept that for that. I'm not trying to tell nobody else how to feel about Juneteenth. This is just the way I feel about Juneteenth. So now, the other day, so I was telling you earlier that I'm going to get to a story that I was talking about earlier. So anyway, let's say about 2 or 3 days ago, I was in this guy's chat. So it's something like a true crime channel, but I'm not really a true crime junkie. I like this guy, but I'm not gonna say his name because he ain't gonna be saying my name, and I'm not gonna be saying his. So anyway, but I like this guy sometimes because sometimes he be letting these Europeans have a little too much leeway. You'll be having to check them some fucking times. But anyway, you'll understand what I mean when I finish telling you about. So we was in his chat, and he was talking about a young man by the name of Jarvis McIntyre. So if you don't know about Jarvis McIntyre, I really don't remember how old this man is. I think he was going to turn 23 the next day had he lived. But this man went kind of vacationing to San Antonio, Texas, right? Which some Europeans from San Antonio, Texas declared San Antonio, Texas as a sundown state. This is what the European people from San Antonio, Texas stated and declared it, that it was a sundown state, right? And anybody who looked like me should know what a sundown state is. So anyway, they declared it a sundown state. So he came to see his sisters. They was hanging out. They was having fun. I believe this is the story that I got so far. I really didn't pry into it as much as I'm going to. I'm going to be doing a story on this man, but I got to get all my facts and all my information and my conversations and all that stuff first. But so as I know it for right now, but I'm not saying this is fact yet. I'm not standing on this yet, but so the story that I hear from the angels and the ancestors for right now is that he was leaving his sister's house. I think he was leaving his sister's house, maybe even to go to the airport to leave, because he was supposed to be going home and he was supposed to be home the next day. I don't remember if his birthday is my auntie's birthday. His birthday is June 9th? No, I can't remember what his birthday is. Well, don't give me the line about that. So anyway, the next day was his birthday. He was going to the airport. He was supposed to be leaving there, and he was going to go home. I don't know if he was leaving with all of his luggage at that time, his sister's house, to go to the airport. No, that wasn't the case. Oh no, so clear on where yet. So bear with me for the little details and stuff. But I believe that a European man Because where he was driving was kind of like back roads. But the reason why it was back roads is because this is what his GPS is telling him to take to get to these places. Forgive me. When I just said take, I want to say happy belated birthday to take off. He don't want me to make no fuss about him. He don't want nobody. He's sick about being on the other side. And I can't help it. I can't go by like I don't care about the man. I happy belated birthday to take off, and the world will always love you. And it's such a damn shame that these evil people in Texas once again is playing with us. Justice for takeoff. So anyway, and since we're talking about Texas, shout out to Dallas. I heard they won the championship. Shout out to Dallas. They won a championship. Is that right? Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, back to the story. So this man was driving the back roads. His name is Jarvis McIntyre. So he was driving in the back roads because the GPS told him to go that way. So let's just say he was driving by a back road, and this man seen him drive by let's just say this man was having target practice as this young man was driving by this back road, and that European man decided to make Jarvis target practice. And you know how they are in Texas. And all these people, so we was in this live or whatever, they was telling the story, and all of these European people kept saying, "Oh, not my town. My town ain't that. I don't even understand. I feel they're wrong for calling San Antonio a sundown state. I mean, a sundown town." And but look, the thing was, this is what somebody from a European person from San Antonio is declaring it a sundown town. It was one of them RACIST mother effers that was stating this. This is literally written and documented on something like in the paper or in a television type of atmosphere, like I don't want to say an interview, but like a media type of atmosphere. And this person stated this like that's what it is. So now these European people can't deal with the fact that they not, never mind the fact that my black brother just got murdered in this town. Okay. Now I didn't even finish, but yeah, he ended up murdered. And the only way they could recognize him was by his tattoos. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to get the information that I need to get about this, and I'm going to talk about this because I ain't going to let it go. So anyway, and all they could find to identify him was his tattoos. So we in this chat, this man is trying to tell us about this case. All these Europeans who are really RACISTS, yes, they are, and they don't even recognize it, but they think that we're being ridiculous by the things we got to say about Texas. No, y'all ignorant. Y'all the ignorant ones. So anyway, so they get on, oh, I'm from this part of Texas, and we don't, and everybody's, I only see color, I don't see color and all that bullshit, all that stuff they be saying and trying to make it like we tripping. We're talking about a man whose life was taken in this town. He called the police talking about he was being chased by RACIST with a rifle. And when they found this man, he was only identifiable through his from his tattoos. That's how horrible they did whatever they did to his face. That's what it means. So we was talking about this or whatever. Everybody talking about something. I said, F Texas, that's the way they are. Because they kept trying to make it like we the ones in the chat. The people, the melanated people are the ones who tripping. No, we not tripping. We know what it is. Y'all the only ones that's living in la la land, in a fantasy land, thinking that this is just the most hospitable, just like home place. No, no. So I was going back and forth with somebody. I'm like, because they kept talking about Texas is not like that. I said the whole Texas is like that. I said Texas is the reason for Juneteenth because the people from Texas didn't want to free the slaves, and it was 2 years later. That's what Texas is. So that's the type of stuff I was on. That's what I was talking. So they had a problem with what I had to say. So we was all, it really turned into something like a RACE. I don't know if I can say that. A RACE war in that chat. And at first he was giving these Europeans too much leeway because they kept already trying to do subtle RACIST stuff. In my opinion, they was already doing shit like that. And they kept trying to because they're gonna say, do you know what? I forgot what the hell we was talking about. And one of the European people, I noticed a European talking about something. Do you know what something stand? The R word stand? Oh, because somebody was saying something. Oh, they kept trying to switch what we're talking about to a European person case in the chat. They kept trying to switch the narrative of what the actual thing we're talking about in this chat. So I said, and so somebody said something about RACIST's R words. He kept saying R words because he didn't want to risk getting struck or whatever. So I was like, yeah, it's a lot of R words everywhere, right? So this European lady gonna ask me, Rob, do you know what the R word stands for? And then she gonna put R4CE. I said, I know what it stands for. And I put R at CISTS. So 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 I said, I know what it stands for. And I said that because they sitting up here trying to change the whole narrative, including the victim at hand, the case in itself. So she's talking about, oh, I'm gonna keep an eye out. She ended up exiting that chat. Okay, she ended up exiting the chat. She's supposed to be a moderator. She ended up exiting the chat. Okay, you was not keeping an eye out for us. But anyway, so as usual, when things get a little too rough, they go running. But this is our real life. We don't have a choice to run. So we always got to stay and fight. We don't have a choice to run. And then they the first one, well, if he just would have complied. No, he ain't have to comply with no random person off the street. It ain't no reason why this man had to comply with this man. And I believe this man cut him off and chased him, like cut him off. That's why he felt like he needed to go from his car and run. But I'm gonna get into that later. Let me stay off of that for now. But I am gonna go back to that and talk about that. I got a lot of things that I want to talk about. But I don't want to put them on this one. But I wanted to talk about my feelings on Juneteenth, and I feel like it's a bunch of bullshit, and they just playing with us. They playing with us by throwing this little pebble our way. We supposed to be elated, and we supposed to forget about all of our brothers and sisters that been SHOT down like dogs in the street. Lives taken by people that's supposed to be the people that protect and serve us. by police, by authorities of any kind, or people that think they're authorities of any kind. So I feel like this is all a sham. I just wanted to know somebody else's opinion, but I guess I won't be getting that for now. But whenever I finish this, I'll just say I implore y'all to leave your opinion in the comments. That's what I do want to know. How do y'all feel about Juneteenth? This is really a conversation for my people, but I want to know how my people feeling about Juneteenth, because even when I try to do this with God and the ancestors, oh, I didn't ask God. I should have asked God. I might have asked. I don't know. I don't know if I asked God, but when I tried to do this with God and the ancestors, it was still so many different opinions. I can't say we have a clear consensus on how we all feel. But I know personally, I feel like it's a bunch of bullshit and they playing with us. Some people happy because melanated people don't get nothing. Um, so they said, we'll take the holiday, we don't get nothing. And some people just in the middle and they don't know how they feel. So I just want to know how people feel about it. Um, Thank you for the people that stopped by for the little bit of time they stopped by. I appreciate your presence. Um, for anybody else who sees this later, please leave your comment and how you feel about Juneteenth, your honest feeling about Juneteenth. And this is for my people in particular. I'm not really asking, I'm asking African Americans, how do they feel about Juneteenth? What do you feel? Do you feel it's a good thing or a bad thing? What do you feel about this holiday? What do you feel about them giving us this holiday? And I just want your true feelings. So thank you for the people that came through. I appreciate your presence. It was appreciated. Please like, sub, hit that notification bell to all. Um, if you wish to support the channel, you see the Cash App scrolling across the bottom. If you wish to contact me for any reason, or if you wish to book a reading, because I do readings as well. The things that you always hear in the background, that's my divine rods, and that is the thing that I use to communicate with God and the ancestors to get information. I do those type of readings. I also do oracle card readings as well. And I also do astrology and numerology readings as well. So if anybody would be interested in a reading or interested in contacting me for any reason, my email is listed in the description box. So, you're more than welcome to contact me that way. Thank you for anybody who stopped by. I appreciate y'all presence. I love y'all all. Mwah, and happy Juneteenth. All right, y'all. Peace.